Going live, it says. You're live. We are live, apparently, on YouTube.
Vaguely live.
Vaguely live. I don't know if anyone is actually going to watch this or not. Because it is 4020 live in an emergency situation. So much so there's no pictures. You can just see the 4020 live logo flying around the screen. Whether you can hear me or not, well, I think you can. Hopefully, you can hear from somewhere else in the country. Are you there, John Davidson?
Yes, I am, Richard. I am here, I am willing, and I am able.
Phil Kaplan's supposed to be here, but his Skype's broken. I think he needs to reset his computer or something. We tried him a couple of times. He was on the call when we were practicing this thing. He was there, but now he's this. Oh, you can hear you as well. So it is working. People are watching.
That's good. I mean, I think the worrying thing is that Phil's had a haircut, so either he's been out and about or he's cut his own hair. I'm not sure which is worse.
That was supposed to be social distancing. Is that the
Yes.
Phrase?
Yeah, that's right.
This
4 meters.
It's 6:30 on a Monday. I mean, we're half an hour late as ever. So hopefully people are watching. If they're not watching, I don't know. There's no rugby league to talk about, which is slightly concerning because that's the whole idea of the programme. And it's, this time last week we knew there was going to be no Super League for a while, and now there's no NRL either, John. So
No,
there's nothing going on.
No, it was a nice last round. A few interesting bits, but it's all been kaput now for, indefinitely. And then tomorrow we're going to have a Super League meeting, and I would say it's going to get pushed back at least till the start of May, if not longer. So yeah, it doesn't look good.
No, I think I think we all expected that the 3rd of April date was going to be perhaps too early with every other sport, it seems, being late. In fact, the only sport that seems to be going at the moment is Irish horse racing and greyhounds. Apart from that, I don't know what else is going on at the minute, because there's nothing else in this country at least anyway.
Are those horses with jockeys or without?
In Ireland and in certain parts of the States, they are with jockeys, but they're with no people there.
Well, those jockeys hopefully keeping a nice distance from each other.
Well, what they've been doing is, because they showed this on ITV on Saturday, they've had to, between races, if they're not racing in the next race, sit in their cars until it's time for them to get back onto the track. So they're trying everything.
Fair enough.
And until, the reason it's not going on in this country is because, of course, you need ambulances there, and obviously the ambulances in this country need something more important than horse racing. In Ireland, they don't have the severity of situation, I guess, at the moment, but and nor in the States either. But I guess in the States everything's private, so they can just pay for it or not, and they make enough money from the actual racing, then they don't need to. But there is no rugby league at the minute. There's nothing going on. There's no news going on because nothing can happen. We're just in a state of flux, waiting for the next thing to happen. And I guess the main talking point is the hope within rugby league that the government will have some pennies to keep things going while there are no games and no income coming in.
Yeah, they seem, Ralph Rimmer seems fairly positive that there will be some money coming in, but I mean, you do have to wonder how far rugby league is on the Conservative government.
Well, it was important last year.
Well, yeah, but once you win the election, you don't really, honouring your promises is not really something that governments or politicians do, is it? So, yeah, it's a fun time. But one piece of news that just popped up not long ago, it seems like that Hector McNeil, the owner, chairman of Scholars, has pulled out. He's apparently lost a lot of his wealth with the crisis, and he's stepping down. So you do have to wonder, will the Scholars be the first club to die?
Which would be a big shame, of course. Well, it's a shame if any club goes to the wall, because they're an outfully, we can keep going somehow.
Yeah, they are, and I think they've been waiting patiently for the money from Toronto that had been promised 40 months ago, which hasn't materialised. And I think obviously with McNeil's business has been particularly hit by this crisis. So, yeah, you have to wonder how they do keep themselves going. It seems like with some League One clubs pay all their staff on a per game or sessional basis, so they should be all right. But those obviously with full-time staff and full-time contracts, full-time players, like others in the Championship and Super League, are going to be very badly hit when there's no revenue coming in.
There's obviously a story there with Toronto making I won't say song and dance, but they certainly made an effort to make something out of the fact they were putting money into London Scholars, and we are 18 months down the line with that, and nothing has happened.
Well, I couldn't possibly comment, Richard. I would be accused of all manner of. But yeah, I mean, as others have written, they were promised the money and it hasn't materialised. So make of that what you will. Yeah.
It is a complete mystery, that one. I thought Phil was joining them, but I don't think he is. So London Scholars in trouble. I read some Super League clubs in the same boat as well. And the problem is, unless you've got a very rich owner, and this goes for lower league football and rugby union and any team sport, if you haven't got a very rich owner, you are relying and you are living hand to mouth.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, I don't want to speculate, but there's several clubs that spring to mind you would think would be particularly in danger in this situation. You would think maybe the likes of your Warrington and your Leeds, Wigan, St Helens would be safer than perhaps your Salfords, Wakefields, Castlefords. But any and all clubs have got their breaking point, and obviously the longer this situation goes on, the more pressure it's going to get across all clubs.
Yeah, and it's just until we know what's going to happen in the world outside, everyone's in the same boat. We've got McDonald's closing, and Costa's are closing, which means they've got absolutely nothing to do over the next few months. I don't know how they're going to get their fix of chicken. I might have to cook their own. It's going to be concerning. Everyone is in the same boat, whether you're a rugby league player or a writer or you work in a business which has been closed down, a restaurant or whatever. We're all in the same boat. We're all worried about what's going to happen next, and no one's got a clue. Certainly not the government either, which means we're all just waiting and hoping that this situation blows over quickly. But judging by the news in other countries, it probably won't do.
No, we're all screwed collectively. And it seems like, we're in for months, not weeks, which is, you can't lie, not to be a scaremongering, but it is a scary situation, particularly those with either health risks or weak immune systems or family members, who are elderly. So I guess away from the rugby league side, we just hope everyone remains safe and healthy and, alive, essentially.
Yeah. So we'll find out in the next couple of days, it seems, when we will be back playing, which we don't know when that will be at the moment. You'd imagine the season's obviously going to have to be, well, it will be extended. I don't think they can get rid of fixtures. So extend the season, what that does to the Ashes. Were the Aussies not bothered about coming anyway? Yeah, we can accuse them of not being anyway. But they're going to have to extend their season as well. And ahead of a World Cup year next year, it's all a mess, but it's a mess of no one's making. So, as much as people want to blame Ralph Rimmer or Robert Elston for everything, they can't blame them for this one.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I think credit's got to go to Rimmer because he's been available to media. He's been negotiating with government. He's been on the front foot, while Robert Elston has kind of gone missing. where in the world is Carmen San Diego / Robert Elston? I don't know. Do you know, Rich?
I've not seen him, not since when he did that statement outside the John Smiths. I've not seen him since.
No, and that seemed to be led by Ralph as well. So yeah, he's kind of. I mean, he hasn't been seen that much this year as it was at the season launch, and then I think at the Man of Steel event. But he's not been readily available for a while, and definitely in this crisis when you think leadership is really valued, he's not been there. But Ralph Rimmer has, and from the clubs that I've spoken to, they've all been very complimentary of the work the RFL has done. So, we're always ready to kick the RFL when they stuff up, which is regularly. But, as I said, they've been doing a good job, I think. So good on them.
I guess the main thing is, as much as we want a kangaroo tour, and we haven't had one for a while, we do need to get the domestic season as finished with as much integrity as possible. I was reading perhaps 13 teams in Super League next season, which is a nice odd number, which makes no sense at all. Why not 14?
Yeah, I mean, I guess you can look at it from the way that if the season's shortened and you are the club that are relegated, legally you would say, well, this is unfair. How can we be relegated when we have not played the full set of fixtures? So I guess that's one way to avoid that. But yeah, you would think then, well, if the TV deal is still what it is, and all the clubs are getting the same amount of money, then they have reduced money for 2021. But something that no one seems to know is, will Sky sort of pull their deal with the Super League clubs when they're not playing? Because Sky is paying money to show games, and if there are no games to be shown, why would it keep paying money?
Well,
Last time I looked, Sky were not a charity; they were a Murdoch entity,
and they're not showing anything at the minute, which people are trying to get their money back as well. So that I wish they'd show some more old games. Apparently, they're showing Sheffield versus Paris on Sunday, or Paris versus Sheffield, I should say, which I don't know if necessarily it'd be good to see again, and interesting to see how things have changed since then. But it also shows, well, these are two big cities that were in Super League 25 years ago, and 25 years on, it's a load of northern teams, a team in the south of France, and Toronto. So, well, I guess
progress.
Yeah, Toronto's it's further away than Sheffield, I guess.
As I wrote the other week, Rich, expansion without a plan always ends well.
Well, that's what Brian Noble's pretty much said in Forty20 this month, hasn't he? The new issue is available in news agents if yours is still open.
He's agreed with me. With me. Wow.
Nobby.
I know, and I'm anti-expansion, as you know. As a flat capper, I hate anything that's not, Wakefield, Featherstone, or, I'm in the golden rhubarb triangle. So, yeah.
Well, this is what we were excited about, the Challenge Cup draw last week, and now
New York.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It didn't go there, did it? Yeah. Some people must have been gutted about that because they could have got a nice jolly up, and then they had to go to Sheffield instead for a big meeting of everyone. But never mind. We don't know when that's going to be. When the final's supposed to be July, isn't it, this year? So they've got to get that all in.
I think the Challenge Cup will be one of the first things to go, to be honest.
You think?
I mean, yeah. I mean, the regular season fixtures are much more important and valuable than Challenge Cup. And I think the crowds generally reflect that. So I can see it being one of the first things tossed aside, but that's just my own view.
Well, you would think that the 1895 Cup may well.
Well, yeah.
after all that.
What about the Yorkshire Cup?
Oh, he does appear. Apologies to Tim. It appears we're lagging and buffering, and it's not working properly. And we may well just have to give up on this. I don't know. We tried, at least.
We have tried. Yeah.
I think what we might have to do, and we might give it up as a bad job, is at some point this week just record something and then put it out as a podcast or something, because I can sense A, there's nothing going on this week. B, this people want content later in the week, yeah, I think that's about it.
It's a captive audience, Rich. We should be
Yeah.
broadcasting to billions.
We should be, but for some reason I just can't get these things to work today. But I blame Phil. He was okay when we had Phil on, and then he disappeared, and he's not there anymore. So
I think he got scared seeing the video of me in my bedroom,
and your Gary Schofield.
Yes, wannabe
dressing
outfits.
Well, I think we will. I think we will end it there because it's obviously not working properly, which is a shame. But these things are sent to testers, and we will reschedule for later in the week. I seem to. I mean, I didn't. Early in the week I was, or last week rather, I was busy, and now I'm less busy. So I'm sure we'll find a time at some point in the week where we can do this.
Plenty of time.
Yes.
Plenty of time. Yeah.
John, thank you very much, and I'll
thank you.
Catch up with you again later. And for those who have watched, thank you for watching. Apologies that it is not what we wanted it to be, but we will come out with another podcast later in the week, and something that'll be worth listening to, hopefully. So thank you very much for your support. It is welcomed. I don't know what the word is, but yeah, stay safe and stop going out.
Wash your hands.
Wash your hands. That's a good